A very jestful evening to the esteemed mandate and my fellow comrades. I am Shreya Mohanty, a student outreach ambassador from DV Public School Unit 8 Bhubaneswar of grade 11. And I feel immensely honored to be a fraction of this insightful podcast named Voices, where the young minds get to interact with the scholars of various universities, schools, and institutions from diverse horizons who stand out as the torch bearers, bestowing their quintessential guidance on all of us. In a nutshell, here we inspire minds and ignite success. It's where the dreams take off. Today, it's our sincere privilege to have on board Madam Anju Deoskar, Director, Outreach and Admissions, Flames University. Greetings of the day, ma'am. I extend the heartiest welcome to this astounding podcast.
Hi, how are you? I'm very good, and thank you so much for having us today.
It's our privilege indeed. Initiating with today's youth is quite fascinated with the opportunities which are offered by the foreign based universities. So, what advice do you have for the students who are considering studying abroad or exchange programs? Ma'am, please.
I think when the students are planning to study abroad or looking at some exchange programs, the first thing I think is really important is that they should have some kind of alignment with their career goals, right? If you're going there, you're spending time there. I think students often must prioritize academic program that aligns with their career aspiration. Also, I think the students today are looking for programs that offer relevant and up-to-date content, practical skills, opportunities in the real world applications. And when they go to study abroad, or for that matter, even in India, I mean, if I may add that, I think the real purpose of a student going to any university is that you must have alignment with your career goals. That's one. We do have a lot of students that we interact with that who students who may or may not be very aware of what they want to do, and that's a very valid point. Okay, in that case, it's still is I think a student's um, first most important focus point, that a student must be able to still do some sort of research and figure out what all can I try. One is, I know I want to do this, and hence I must go here in an XYZ place, whether it's, overseas or in India. And the second thing is that I have no idea, I have little idea, and these are the few areas that I should have an opportunity to explore. And I think if these two things are aligned well, it really gives students a very, very good head start if they get an opportunity like this. Yes, Shreya, you can just ask me the next question.
Indeed, ma'am. I do agree with you. The way you said that alignment that caters to our needs according to the university which we decide to go on is extremely important while going for foreign based universities. Now, how
Absolutely.
do the universities support these students in their academics and personal growth as well?
So, you know, students, I think the universities are very huge thing. So first of all, I'm assuming we have the school audiences who will be more eager to hear this podcast. The way the education is understood in a school level versus a university level, it's really different. It's just not only that, you're doing an X difficulty level of a subject in high school, and when you go to the university and if you happen to study the same subject, it becomes X+1 difficulty level. That's not the only thing. All right. So the university often employ various support systems to assist the students both in academic as well as personal journeys. And I can definitely vouch that for Flame University, or because that's what I represent. And these resources are basically designed to enhance the overall college experience of a student, all right? Because the student has come here from a background and the student is also exploring, right? Where the student through these resources can actually navigate certain challenges, and that's the support system. If I have to just name a few, for example, academic advising. I've come here at Flame. We have, maybe 350 major minor combination. It's so overwhelming for the student to pick up. What do you want to study? I may have interest in two, three, four things, but what do I study? So there comes academic advising. So academic advisors, and these are faculty or the senior, maybe third, fourth year students who interact with the students, and every university has a different system. So that's one where they really help the students to choose and navigate between, like, what major minor should I pick up, and what my academic goals, my study strategies, and what all can this assist in addressing any academic challenge or even my career challenges. The second thing is tutoring services. When you come to the campuses in the university, in school, like, you have, a lot of extra support that you get outside of the school. In university, the kind of academics, like I said, is not X+1 that you have to do. There's different approach to the academics. So you have tutoring services within the university environment for which you don't pay anything extra. I mean, the learning ecosystem is such. Then counseling and mental health services, career services, financial aid, and scholarships, because students come from very different backgrounds, and health and wellness programs. The university provide them with fitness centers, or the sports, the counseling, all these kind of things. So yes, there is a lot of support system from the university to realize the students goals, what they've come to the university, both academic and personal. And actually, that's
Thank
what
you.
makes it a university. That's what makes it a university, because the
Yes, ma'am.
ecosystem is something that, because these are all individuals, they're all adults now. They're supposed to be making decisions. They're supposed to be, and when you say making decisions, you sometimes, fail at them. You sometimes succeed at them. And how do you navigate through that failure and success? So how I look at it, and how Flame actually looks at the student's journey for 3 or 4 years. We treat university as a laboratory. How you go into a lab and you're doing a certain test, you don't get the right result in the first go. You make it
Yes.
happen like 10 times, 5 times, maybe 50 times, right? And that's the reason why the laboratory that's a function of a laboratory. Similarly, I think the function of a university is to provide these chances to fail and succeed repeatedly to students, and where, the right kind of support is given, whether it's academic or it's personal. So yes, that's the kind of support system a student must definitely expect from a university.
Absolutely, ma'am. University life is exactly like entering into a laboratory where you learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. And when
Absolutely.
we talk about university life, apart from academics, extracurriculars and campus life also plays a very significant role. So,
Absolutely.
how do you think extracurricular activities and campus life enhance the college experience of a candidate?
So, I'm taking analogies of the school. In this school, if I ask you, maybe from 2 years ago, what was the best time you had in your maybe when you were in grade 9? So often, if you ask 20 students, they will often remember an event that happened in the school, whether it was a sports day or a debate or XYZ. Nobody really talks about that one particular lesson that you learned in the class. Okay, we are human, we are social creatures, we like to engage, interact, we like to give our opinions. That's the real, genuine, a very natural human behaviors. So extracurricular activities on campus life contribute significantly to overall college experience. Number one, what does it do? It fosters your personal growth. Okay, it develops you socially, right? It builds a sense of community. When are you going to learn that, right? You can't sit in a classroom in a lecture and learn, to be in a community. You need to be in action to learn, get a sense of community. And how do you and of course there are several ways in which these aspects are enhanced in the college experience. By doing what? For example, networking and building social connection. It gives you a very balanced life. Extracurricular activities offer students a chance to balance academic pursuits and a recreational and leisure activities. And this is a perfect balance where you can maintain the well-being of your mental health, or prevent yourself from burnouts, right? Your when you finish your term one or semester one, all your course faculty are going to dump you with so much of submission assignment, and these aren't something that you can copy paste from anyone. These aren't something that somebody else can do it. You have to do it yourself. And in those such places, you feel burnout. So you have study groups, if you have a social life, there are 10 people within your community, within your the network of the students that you are in the university. They come and help you. So it's a balanced lifestyle. It also, I think, the university also offers a very culturally diverse exposure that also builds, a different kind of an extra, development of a student. Through extracurricular activities, students get so many leadership opportunities. All right, maybe you're a club president, or you're a team captain, or you're organizing a TEDx, or you're, doing something. So many options you get. uh, Career development, right? When you do these extracurricular activities, you often put them in your CVs. And when people look at your CV for either post graduation or your jobs, they want to know, what did you do outside of your class curriculum? Health and wellness. It keeps you in good health if you're playing a sport, or if you're doing some extra activity, rather than just being glued to your self with the social media. And which is a big problem today, and which is why people are talking about mental health. It builds camaraderie. Okay, the school spirit, the university that you represent, or the school you represent, it brings that camaraderie. So and how do you don't become a national citizen of your country, but you're a citizen in these small little areas, right? Your citizenship, or your team, that spirit comes in when you're a, member of a team, or member of a university, member in the city, and then it just keeps going global. It gives you opportunity for creativity and self-expression. So the list is endless. And let me tell you here, you spend 35% time in the academics, and 65 to 70% in your everything outside of the academics. That's the real life, and a good university life.
Absolutely, ma'am. University life is very much important because that's when a person's holistic development and ethical conduct happens. And that's when a person enhances his or her skills, hones his or her skills, be it through leadership, networking, flexibility, in every sphere of life. So now I would like to know that how do academic programs and curriculum flexibility influence the decision making skills of a candidate?
Okay. So, like I said in my first this thing answer, so academic, the flexibility in the curriculum, and probably the program that is offered in a university, it has to show some alignment with your career goals, right? A student, like I said, students often prefer that their academic subjects that they pick, they should be aligned. Number one, curriculum flexibility that you're speaking about, I think it allows students to tailor make their academic journey, right? They may involve choosing major from a different discipline, a minor from somewhere else, do some concentrations, or maybe have an open elective, these kind of things. So flexibility allows you this. Not typically that, okay, fine, you're doing a BBA, so you study only your finance and maybe some marketing, and that's about it. Here, if the curriculum flexibility is available, then you also maybe take up a course in psychology, which makes you in return understand your finance and your marketing better, because you understand human behaviors, right? Then the diversity in the offerings, which is again more in the curriculum that is offered, it gives students, I think, a great opportunity to choose from more choices. Sometimes I may choose economics and I come into the university. When I actually start studying, I'm happy. But the moment, term one gets through, and then you start realizing that, what, this is not what I really thought. And it happens with so many of us. You do not have to feel bad about it. If the university offers a flexible curriculum, you can still, maybe move your economics to minor, and maybe you're more interested in, maybe it could be a finance or any other subject that you're studying, and switch that to a major. So this kind of flexibility, it allows them to not be a victim of a wrong choice that they made. There's always a solution. Then I think flexibility in the curriculum also prepares students to be adaptable to industry trends. Okay, so you don't have to be succumbed to a very conventional system of or traditional system of your degree programs. If there's a curriculum flexibility, you can really go, like, pick up things from wide areas. And I often tell people who talk about the interdisciplinary education, and they have questions to ask where they do not support it or they have different views. I often ask them to read this book called Range by David Epstein. Okay, and he's talking about how a generalist will triumph over a specialist. If I'm a specialist in finance, that's it. Maybe tomorrow something happens, I don't have a job, or I have some challenge that I'm facing. What am I doing next? Right? So you should, if you studied along with finance, maybe you did some digital marketing course, right? So, okay, finance is not working. You have some ready information to just go head on into a different industry or try something on your own. You also get a global perspective when you study in diverse, flexible ways of, your career choices. Yeah, I think these are the major things. And something else that I really, and all of these things, I think, really impact students in, decision making, because if they have this background of information and training, automatically, you have, we hope that you get more wisdom. Yes, that's
Okay,
from,
so
yeah.
if I have to conclude, then I can safely say that God made life unpredictable for the most beautiful things to happen at the most unturned phases of life. And life has got enormous opportunities, and all we human beings need to do is to just go grab them and extract and squeeze every drop out
Yes,
of it. So,
perfect.
on that being said, I express my sincere sense of gratitude to Madam Anju Deoskar for empowering the youth with your spellbinding aura and words of wisdom. Thank you so much, ma'am. We are indeed fortunate to have you on board today.
Thank you
So,
so
boys
much.
and thank you so much, ma'am. So, boys
Absolutely.
and girls, fasten your seatbelts to witness many more such spellbinding, astounding, and insightful conversations in days to come. And until then, just keep your curiosity charged. Thank you, everyone.